Hey y'all, welcome back to the Bloom podcast. I guess this isn't actually technically even a welcome back because this is the first ever episode of the Bloom podcast, Motherhood Without the Pressure. So, welcome. I am so excited to have you guys here. I want to chat a little bit today about Bloom, where it came from, why I planted it, who it's for, and just chat a little bit. So I think to start, thinking about motherhood and what this season has been like, I don't think motherhood is supposed to feel this heavy, but for a lot of us, it does. And I think that is because of the pressures that we as women and as moms put on ourselves, but also the pressures around us, whether it's family pressures, social media pressures, friend pressure, just everything. There's just a lot on our shoulders. So my experience, for those of you who don't know me, by the way, my name's Britt. I'm more known in the social media world as That Social Blonde, but we are entering a new chapter and a new season in my life here, or in our life, and that is That Social Blonde after the baby. So thus this kind of created this whole, how do I still show up online, but how do I show up and make an impact and help other moms? And so that's kind of how Bloom came about. I had our daughter almost 9 months ago. Hattie will be 9 months soon. And so it's just kind of been a journey over the last 9 months of what I've experienced, what I've learned, what my other mom friends are experiencing and learning and talking about and struggling with. And I just thought, you know what? We can do it better. We can do it better on social media. We can make social media a place where moms can feel safe and heard and loved and not judged, and can show up and be real and get help and get advice and just have a shoulder to cry on or have an ear to listen, because motherhood can feel really lonely at times. So I really just wanted this to be a space where we can make a community of moms and help support one another and help lean on one another. So so when I became a mom, I had this now I realize unrealistic expectation that I was just gonna be really natural at this and just be amazing. Growing up, I was always very motherly and really good with kids. I would always hear, "Oh, you're gonna be such a great mom, Britt. You're gonna make such a great mom one day. You're just such a natural." And so as I got older, in my head, I was like, "Oh my goodness, I can't wait to be a mom. It's my purpose in life. I just cannot wait to be a mom." And I felt that deep in my soul that it was my purpose, that God put me here on earth to be a mom, and that I'm gonna do an amazing job, and it's just going to come so naturally. I always heard mother's intuition and your mother's instinct, and I thought, oh, I'm going to have that, and it's going to be great. I can't wait. Fast forward to having Hattie, and then the reality of what that was. So here I am putting this unrealistic pressure on myself, this unrealistic expectation on myself that it's just going to come natural and it's going to be great. And then reality hit, and it wasn't natural. I had no idea what I was doing. I've never had a baby before, so I had no idea what I was doing. And I felt really lost, and I felt like I felt lost, and I felt alone, and I just felt like I wasn't doing anything right. Hattie was also really colic at the beginning, which was an extra challenge that we didn't even think of. So that added a whole other level, because there's a lot of crying and a lot of sleepless nights and a lot of late nights and, a lot of tension in the household. And again, a lot of extra stress on us as parents and on me as a mother. Also, our breastfeeding journey didn't go very well. So that added a whole other layer too of, I actually cannot feed my child. I remember thinking, I can't do what my body is intended to do. Why why is it happening like this to me? And all these things. And, I look back and think like our journey has been so beautiful, and just so perfect the way it all ended up working out. Like God does have a great plan and it does end up working out beautifully. We're only 9 months in and I can already look back and see that it is great. But I remember being in the thick of postpartum and being like, oh my goodness, like what have we done? And I did not think I was going to survive. I literally remember feeling like I was in such a dark place and I had just so much stress and anxiety and just fear and all of it. And that came from external pressures and the own pressure that I was putting on myself. So I feel like, you know, I put the pressure on myself. I also think too, if you are somebody who is maybe similar to me and you're like a performative or like a performance-based person, as an entrepreneur, I think that's probably where a lot of it came from. For me, it was like a very performative thing for me that I had to do these certain things and do these certain things well or right. And like right, as I'm saying it, I laugh because I think like, right in whose eyes? But in my head, it was like, I had to do it right. I have to do this right. I don't know who lays out the rules of motherhood that's right and wrong and like, this is okay and this is, but anyways, I digress. That's a whole other episode. But I just remember feeling like really overwhelmed and stressed and very pressured. I also think too, a bit of the pressure that I was putting on myself was this need to show up in a way, in like to the outside world, especially to my mom, my grandmother, and my mother-in-law, like any kind of like maternal women in my life. I think deep down I felt that I had to show up and show them like, I'm doing a good job. I can do this. I am doing this. Which like I've done postpartum therapy and I realize is a me problem. But that was in itself something I also never even thought of coming up, is like any kind of trauma, mom drama, things that come up with being a mom, that you maybe experienced in your own childhood that starts coming up now that you are a mom. And that's what was kind of happening to me. So I'm going to talk about that in a whole other episode because I do want to have an expert sitting here with me, a therapist, a postpartum expert. So bear with me on that one because that'll be a good juicy episode. But anyways, just all this pressure that I was putting on myself that was so unnecessary. But where I found I was getting the most pressure and where I felt like it was stemming from was social media. So this is kind of where bloom started to blossom in my head because I was, up in the middle of the night feeding Hattie and I'd just be scrolling my phone because what else is there to do? My husband's sleeping because he has to get up to work for our family in the morning and I'm up feeding. So I'm scrolling. And what am I scrolling? Social media. And once your phone knows that you're pregnant or having a baby or you've had a baby, that's all you see. Like I would open up, and I still do, Instagram, TikTok, and I would just be flooded with mother things, mom talk, baby talk, like all of that, right? Whether it was Instagram, TikTok, it just knew. So here I am, 2 a.m., very vulnerable, postpartum, just had a baby. My hormones are, I don't know if they're up, down, all around, doing loop-de-loops, but again, another episode. But the postpartum hormones were flying, and I'm alone, feeding our baby, flooding my brain and my mind with social media. And what I was seeing on social media was fear, was lies, was judgment, was this fakeness around motherhood. And I just kept thinking at the time, like, I'm doing something wrong because A, I don't look like this woman, or B, I don't feel like this woman, or C, it doesn't look like this for us, whatever it might be. And whatever that narrative was that night or in that moment. And I know that that was the enemy coming and trying to, feed me with lies. But at the time, you're very vulnerable. You're in a very fragile state, and it was real. So I felt that every time I opened up social media, I would compare myself with another mom, whether it was the toys that they were using, the stroller that they had, the whatever. And it just became this like toxic feeling, to the point where actually I had talked to my husband about going and getting like a dumb phone, like a flip phone, go back to the old school ways, which for me with my social media, it would be very difficult, but that's how bad it was. And I have mom friends who have also experienced the same feelings and things. So I know that this is something I started to see a pattern amongst my mom friends. And I thought, like I said before, we can do this better. We can make a community for moms, to encourage moms, to love on moms, and to help us all through this season. And so, yeah, I just kind of just started toying with this idea because I started to realize, maybe we're actually not doing it all wrong. And maybe there's just a lot of pressure on moms and on all of us. So that's kind of how this all started to bloom and blossom. And I'm going to keep using all these like catchy words that are similar to blooming because it pops into my head. But I just wanted a space where moms could just be honest without feeling like they need to have it all together. I wanted to be able to show up in a sweatsuit with hair in a messy bun or in a messy ponytail because I'm not even really sure when the last time it was washed, or if it has snacks in it. I mean, my daughter's now eating snacks, and man, those little like rice things, those little moms, they are sticky and they get in everything. The amount of times I've had them stuck to my clothes, they're probably in my hair right now. It's just being real. I wanted to be able to show up real. I wanted to be able to talk real. And I wanted a place where moms could show up. Maybe they're scrolling at 2 a.m. Maybe you're watching this scrolling at 2 a.m. And I wanted you to stop and hear it and go, I can relate, or that's me, or I'm in these trenches right now, or I'm not alone. That's the big one. I'm not alone. You're not alone. So, yeah, I just wanted a place where we could land and we could feel safe. And I know we hear it all the time. Oh, no judgment, no judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. But really there's like, oh, but we're judging. No judgment here. And that's where I really wanted to stress that too, because I want to be talking about things that some moms might listen to and think, oh, like she's judging me because I'm doing something this way. And that's not the case at all. I just wanted to be able to show up and have other moms see in this lens what it looks like if you show up and you're real and you're yourself. And I joked the other day, Hattie gets 5 bottles a day, and I went to put her down and she only had 4, and I was like, I completely missed a bottle today. She was fine. She didn't cry. She didn't even tell me that she was hungry. But, if that's you as a mom, if that's you showing up, just trying your best every day, then you're safe here. And this is the space for you. If you're going to show up as a mom who wants to hand puree all of their food and plate that for them, this is a safe place for you. If you're the mom who wants to show up and feed them moms and prepackaged, pre-pureed foods, you're safe here. This is the place for you. So, we're going to talk from all angles, from both ends of the spectrum, and it's not a judgment. It's not a judgment at all on what's best and what's right and what's wrong. It's just what I might be saying things, what worked for me. And then some of it's easier, some of it's simpler. And I just want it to be a place where other moms can hear this and go, okay, it's okay. It's okay that I missed a bottle today and my child's still alive and happy and smiling and loving me and loving life. It's okay that my afternoon snack today was a pouch of pureed, I don't know, sweet potato, chicken, and apple, I think was the other day. That's okay, because my baby's still getting nutrition. My baby's still eating and thriving and hitting milestones. It's okay that, I let my baby have alone playtime today because I was just a little too overstimulated to play. That's okay. I just feel like that isn't expressed enough on social media. And I feel like even just saying it, I'm already dreading maybe some of the comments that might come through, and maybe there won't be. I pray that there isn't comments that come through that, but I just, even just saying it out loud, it's like, yeah, that's real life, and so I'm tired of the facade of showing up online and having it all together and having a beautiful filter on and looking pretty. I did put mascara on for this video only because my eyes were really swollen today. Everything's very puffy these days. And I was like, on camera, I'm probably going to look like I have no eyeballs. So there is mascara on, but I honestly cannot even wait to take it off. That's how much I don't love having, a filter and makeup on. But anyways, I was just over the BS, really. The long and short of it is I was over opening up social media and just seeing the BS and falling into the trap that you have to have it all together and that you have to do it perfectly. And thus, Bloom was planted. So here I said in my trailer, actually in the trailer for this, that what you can expect. But you can expect solo episodes. So episodes like this where it's just me sitting on this couch, which I also notice when I move does sometimes make farty noises. So this could be really fun with the mics. But anyways, sitting here just talking about, maybe a real life moment that happened, maybe a topic that, I just want to share. So there could be some solo episodes. There's also going to be other moms here. I'm so excited to have this couch filled with moms and the different moms that I have in my life from this season, and new moms that I'm going to meet along the way that hopefully want to be on the podcast and talk a little bit about their journey and just different things that they've experienced. And then again, I do want to have professionals and experts, so postpartum experts and therapists, doula, all of those things that we as moms, either, pre-baby, post-baby, and beyond, need, and just would really benefit from hearing from. So that's what you can expect here at Bloom. But yeah, basically that's how we've come about here. And this is the season that we're in. So if you're in a season of motherhood that feels heavy, I hope that this podcast resonates with you, and I hope that you feel that you are reminded that you are not alone, and that you don't have to be perfect to be a good mom. Thanks for spending this time with me here today on the couch. If you were encouraged by this episode, please feel free to share it. Share it with a mom in your life or somebody in your life who you think would benefit from hearing it. And remember, you're doing better than you think.